Welcome back, everyone, to the VimShow. You guys are watching Behind the Vim podcast. My name is Chris, and today I have a special guest. His name is Silver Young. You can go ahead and say hi to everyone.
Hi, Chris.
How you doing?
Hi, guys. Thank you for having me on your show,
very
Chris.
much. I appreciate you coming out here too. You know,
of course, yeah.
And first, I just want to give a big shout out to it's Studio Diaries. Very big shout out to Studio Diaries for letting me use their studio again. You know, and it is a really nice spot, and I appreciate it very much. You know, I will give their Facebook and their Instagram both in the description down below, so you guys make sure you guys check them out.
Hey, wait, the red button, is that mute?
No, you're good. It's on right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Try to talk in front of it though.
In front of it like this?
Yeah, like that.
Okay.
You don't need to be like right in front, but you know, just make sure it's like, yeah.
Okay.
As long as you're in that direction, you're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
You mind if I pop my favorite drink?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Shout out to Sunfat.
I already popped mine over here, so.
Mm-hmm. This is my new favorite Thai tea right here. Mm-hmm.
So first, I know a lot of people already know who you are, but you know, just go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
So, a little bit about myself. Let me see. Currently I am working on a few music festival. I am also working on, of course, I love social media, using social media as my daily life, or just kind of sharing information, sharing laughter, creating funny videos, food content.
Nice.
And right now I'm super busy working with Sunfat, working with Sabaidi Fest, and working with Yeah Music Fest.
Nice.
And then every other month I work with CXCinemas as their ambassador too. So I keep myself pretty busy.
Yeah, I've seen the one video you did, but I wasn't sure if you were like, it was like a one-time thing where you shot an ad for them or commercial for them or something. But
well, I signed a whole year contract with them. So
that's cool.
Sometimes once a month, sometimes every other month, we're shooting commercials. I just go in, they send me like a kind of like an idea of what we're shooting,
like a script kind of,
and then a script, and then I just practice the script, go in, do my makeup, camera, action, go. You know, so it's very fun doing what being an ambassador of the CXCinemas, and CXCinemas is super big. They're like the biggest casino, number one casino in the Central Valley.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess you can say, and to put everything together, you know, you're an influencer along with like just a content creator, sort of, right?
Yeah, and I'm also a full-time dad, full-time husband.
Yeah.
So I keep myself pretty busy.
No, definitely.
Yeah, and content creating is just something I do naturally already, and everything I do, not everything, but a lot of stuff that I do when I go out and do all my stuff, I like to record it and just kind of share it with the world, share it with my friends and family, and just letting everybody know what I'm doing, inspiring younger influencers or anybody who wants to get into the field, just to kind of see what I do.
Yeah, that's cool. That's kind of, you know, why you're here today, you know, to kind of give some inspiration or just knowledge on how to do this for other people that want to start, or, you know, just looking for something to get into.
Right.
So I guess with that being said, I want to bring you back a little bit to before you were doing this like full time, you know, just what were some of your initial goals? Like, I guess, like, you know, like fresh out of high school, like when you were young, you know, obviously social media wasn't like this yet and stuff. Just just what were your goals back then?
So I'll share a story that not a lot of people know. When I was younger, I wanted to be a pilot.
Really?
Yeah.
Like for an airplane?
Or? Like going to the military, like in the Air Force, right? So I wanted to be a pilot. I love airplane. If you've been to my house, you'll see like posters of airplanes and stuff. I love airplane. I wanted to fly.
Yeah.
I told my parents that idea, and when at a young age, and they didn't like that idea. So they're like, no.
Yeah.
During that time, 實際有個每有一行嘅咪架嚟識皮都要啦，冇要攞一行我個一行幫嘢要多 all that stuff.
Yeah.
So my parents didn't really approve it. So I went a different route, and now and then I went into like, growing up I was a very shy kid, very very shy, and I only hang out with like a very small group of girls.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't hang out with guys. I guess because I'm too shy, I get bullied a little bit. And I get picked on. My childhood friends, they know who.
Right.
And I hang out with a lot of like girls, and with that, I was able to kind of like build a little bit of confidence at a time. Until I got into like my high school year, some of my friends says, "Hey, why don't you run for president for the Hmong Club?"
Uh-huh.
Super shy, super scared. I don't know what to do. So one of my friends, she said, "Hey, don't worry. I will help write a script for you. And you go up there and make a speech." And I've never made a speech ever in my life.
Right.
I went up there and I wrote a whole page. And when I went up there, I went blank. Totally forgot what I wrote, and I studied for like 2 days.
Yeah.
Got up there in front of like the whole class, the whole Hmong Club.
The whole club, right?
And we were running for the president, and just to see who has the better idea. There was no debate, like stuff like that. But
it was just to see who they wanted.
Yeah. See what your
Yeah.
And then I went up there and I went blank, and then for a second I went blank, and I just said, okay, I'm just gonna speak from my heart, and I spoke from my heart, and I just said everything I wanted to say. And after my speech, I got the position.
Nice.
Everybody voted for me because I spoke from my heart.
Right.
And since then, I built a lot more confident of speaking in front of people.
Okay.
And not until after college, I went into I saw an ad out at the radio station, and right after college, I went to let me backtrack. Right after college, I came back home looking for a job. I was working at like a pizza place, and I was working for like a teriyaki dong pizza place as a pizza delivery. I wasn't happy, and then a few of my friends were working at a Japanese restaurant. They say, "Hey, why don't you come and do Japanese restaurant with us? You're pretty talkative, and people will love you cooking and talking at the same time."
Right.
I went into that, and I did that for 10 years.
Teppanyaki kind of?
Teppanyaki.
Okay.
Now teppanyaki, if you never experienced teppanyaki, it's a place where you go in and you sit down and you cook in front of people. At the same time, you entertain people.
Yeah.
And you make people laugh while you're cooking, and you're making sure their food is cooked good, and you're also at the same time they're having a good time.
Yeah.
And I was able to build a personality, build a lot of confidence talking to people in that way through my journey.
Yeah.
And then one day I saw an ad out and said, "Hey, we're looking for a radio host." I mean, a salesperson at the radio station.
Okay.
I went in. The boss, shout out to Tony from KBIF, he says,
"Oh, wow.
Would you want to be on a show?" And I'm like, "What? I don't know what to say. I mean, what did I do?" He said, "Don't worry. We'll train you a little bit, and you'll have your own show, and it's called Generation X, Gen X during that time." I said, "Okay, sure. If there's like some kind of guidance, I'll give it a shot." Went in, worked with Cecilia, and she was the host during that time, and she was on her way out. She was leaving, and she's like, "Here's what to do. These are the buttons. This is how to go live, and you're on." So I did like a whole week with her, and she left.
Yeah.
And I was on my own.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh shoot, what am I gonna do?"
Yeah.
And then I started creating like shows. I started creating Moshia Monday, Thushia Tuesday, way back then, and creating all these days and creating this show where it's just dedicated to and I was able to be able to communicate with like the listeners, and the rest was history. And people saw it, and people was like, "Wow, we're listening to you on the radio. Would you like to be an MC?" And I did my first MC gig, and then after my first MC gig, usually, and then it became like you become kind of like a public figure.
Yeah, yeah.
And then there comes social media.
Yeah.
Here comes social media.
Yeah.
Like it falls in place, you know. And then here I am.
Wow.
Sorry, I mean that's a long talk.
No, it's all right. No,
I can go all day just talking about it, but I'm just to kind of share a little bit, just so how I built from being a shy kid to all the way.
No, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool. So I guess in a way, you've kind of always done it then, right?
Mm-hmm.
What were like your goals going into college first? Like, that was like post college, right? After you finished college or whatever and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And
I never finished college.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Never finished college. I went to college for telecommunication.
Okay.
Down in Pomona. I went to DeRide down in Southern California, and I wanted to study like telecommunication, you know, like cell phone, telephone, telecommunications.
Okay.
And I had some family issues. I had to come back and take care of my siblings. My what would you say? I don't care if everybody hear it.
No, yeah.
My parents were separating,
Uh-huh.
and my brother called me one day, and it was my second year in college, and my brother said, "Hey, you have to come up. Yeah, you got to come back home, and we're breaking apart, and mom is leaving, dad is leaving, dad's everywhere. We need you. There's 9 of us, and I'm the oldest." So I just said, you know what? I can go to college whenever I'm ready, but my family's more important.
Right.
And my siblings are more important. They're very young. The youngest one was only like 2 years old. Yeah.
Wow.
And I would say 20. Yeah, I was about 20.
Still fresh into college.
Yeah,
right?
I just said I can go to college when I'm older.
Yeah.
But my family, making sure my family it's fed and making sure I take care of them is more important. Came back, my parents, they left. My mom moved away out of town. My dad, like, in his own world, put it that
Right.
way. And I had to take care of my siblings, and for a long time, and working 2 jobs, and you know, like, but at the same time, I was not sad. I mean, I was sad, but I was not stressed. You know, I was happy. I get to I'm around my siblings.
Yeah.
I'm happy that I get to bring home food. I get to pay for the rent and just take care of them and making sure they go to school. I was able to buy a few cars for my brothers and I, so we can drive them.
Nice.
But you know, I mean, growing up, have to grow up at a young age, something like that. I mean, it taught me a lot.
No, definitely.
It taught me a lot too. That, you know, family come first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. Like,
I hope I answer your question. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna summarize. So it's like you went to college originally. The plan was to maybe get into something with phones. Then, like maybe be a what is that, like a telemarketer or something? Maybe.
No. Well, to work in the like communication industry.
Just industry, pretty much. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then I just wanted to hear where like your goal was originally, and then just how it switched. So then pretty much when you came back, then you just worked. Yeah. Did that with your family, took care of them, and then from then that's when you went to go do the teppanyaki, and then okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And then it became all this.
Yeah.
So you never know. Of course, they say, "Hey, chase your dream," right?
Right.
But sometimes your dream change, and you just gotta adjust.
Yeah.
Sometimes your dream is not exactly how it is, but you become who you are, and you become who you are around that within that journey, and you build around your journey, and then that will become like you turn it into like a lifestyle. You turn it into like a career.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No worries. I actually need to do that for mine too. Just remembered. Okay, well, yeah, that's really cool to hear like your original goals and stuff. You know what I mean? Because I haven't talked to very many people, but you know, a lot of the times when I do watch like videos and stuff on it, it normally does not turn out the way it does, and then they just happen to stumble upon this, and then they build something on it. You know, like you said, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened.
And that's cool. Yeah, it's always cool to hear when it's a story like that, and then it's like it's completely south, you know, from the original plan. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I forgot to mention something too. You know, I was a Keng student for a long time.
Really?
I started when I was fourth grader.
Oh wow, that's really
and
young,
all the way into my college year before I left to college, and that's when I stopped. But and then after college, I came back and I still did like Keng too. I still taught students. I still have a lot of students out there when they see me. Actually, I saw one today, and he said, "Hey, you know, I miss those days when you used to teach us."
Yeah.
And I think Keng also helped too. So
with putting yourself out there,
putting yourself out there, learning your culture. Because at CXCinemas, it's very tough. Where you go out there and you serve your community.
Right.
And a lot of time, what does the is free.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you don't get paid. You don't expect to get paid, and you just do it for free to help your community. Yeah. So the hardest part was for me after college and taking care of my family is finding time to do it. Because you're always so busy. Right. Yeah. But I think Keng was one of the key factor of helping me develop who I am today too.
Okay. Yeah, that's nice. You know, and you know, that's one thing I really like about doing this is because, like, you know, obviously I don't know very much about you, so it's like learning about these things is and hopefully the audience feels the same way, you know.
I hope so. They only see me on social media doing dubs, Hmong dubs, funny videos, food videos, but I hope now they can kind of see like, oh, that's what Silver does, you know. Yeah.
That's really cool. I had it and then I lost it, so
go ahead, take your time.
We can move on. It's all right. Yeah.
Take your time.
So then next, what I have for you is like, what was so after you started going into like this, I guess this path, once you started like the radio station stuff like that, you know, and started getting into it more. What was your plan now when you got there, you know? Because then, like you said, they just asked you to start emceeing. I guess a good point would be from when they started asking you to MC and start doing more events and stuff like that. What was your path that you saw yourself going on?
You know what?
Goals you gave yourself. Yeah.
Actually, I'll be honest with you. I didn't have much of a goal. As in like going in that career, right? Like becoming an MC or doing what I do now, right? I didn't really have that goal during that time. My goal was just to be the best at what I do. Wow! And during that time, I just wanted to be the best MC, like because it fell onto my lap pretty much. They're like, hey, Silver, can you? During that time, my name was Tripik, right? One thing, it was Tripik, and they're like, "Hey, Tripik, can you MC for this one for our event?" Okay, sure. Yeah. And it went to weddings, into funerals, into concerts, festivals, into all these events that I'm doing. And I think my goal then was I want to be the best at it. No matter what, like I just want to. Every day I wake up and I know I have a event this weekend. I'm going to practice all week. And during that time, my wife now was my girlfriend, and we were living together. And she'll hear me hiding in the closet talking to myself. Just kind of making myself laugh. Right. And if it's funny to me, it got to be funny to my audience, right?
Trying to find your groove, you know?
Yeah. And, I mean, I don't really write things down, but I hear things and I just memorize it, and I sit in the closet and just talking to myself like, hey, your donation, you know, practice 小孩定的呢.
Yeah.
And I did that for a long time because during that time my goal was to be the best at what I do.
Yeah.
And I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, and not only that, it's also because, like you said, it kind of just came onto you. So you know you had to practice, right?
Yeah. Because I'm self-taught. I did not go to school for emceeing, for public speaking.
Yeah.
It's just all self-taught. You along the way. You and it's very important when you listen to them. And you listen to how they pronounce how they entertain you with certain words.
Yeah.
Before I wasn't but I got into on the radio. And I had to learn how to speak Hmong really fluently.
Right.
So I mean, there's some really, really funny people out there who speaks Hmong really, really, really good. And you use like as entertainment wise. And then when I go out and do MC, I use those words. And, it's not created by me.
Right.
It's all copied,
Yeah. It's just retold, getting spread.
Yeah. I can't take credit for it. I learned it from someone. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's really cool then. Because, like I said, normally this stuff doesn't happen to, like, at least originally for your goal and stuff. But then when it does, because I talked to Sarah about this, and, it's like she wants to reach, like, this certain amount of following, or, like, just the people she wants to reach out to. And I think a thing that really plays a big part into it is obviously, times are different now. When you first got into it, it was I'd say probably looked down upon even, but then it was probably like much harder, much harder to get out there like that. Yeah. So I can imagine. Yeah.
It was, I don't know if I mentioned, I didn't mention this, but I also did photography and videography for over 10 years.
Yeah.
So that was a field that now that it's very, a lot of people appreciate it more.
Yeah,
but before when I started, nobody really, not
didn't
nobody,
like the purpose of it.
Yeah. I have a few people, a few encounter where they'll come up to me and say, go get a real job.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You're not going to survive being a photographer. That was like the early years of my photography. And I said, okay. All right, let's see how far I can do this. And let me go, not show you, but I'm going to go show myself that I'm going to kind of remind myself that I can turn it into something that it can help me.
Yeah.
And it has helped me. Like, I've traveled all over the world.
Right.
Like, not saying I make a lot of money. I do make during that time I do make good money. Being a photographer, and I was able to buy my house. I was able to build a business through photography.
Right.
And because somebody keeps telling me to go get a real job, that made me work harder.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah. So going back to what you just said, look down upon, MC the same way.
Right. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. It's like I said, it's just back then there definitely didn't seem to be much of a purpose behind it, or like they didn't see why there was a need for those.
Yeah.
Kind
they
of
didn't
niches,
appreciate it more.
Yeah, and that too. Yeah, definitely.
But now, it's changing. They do appreciate an MC a lot more now. They do pay now. Back then, I just do it for free.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. They say, hey, can you MC? They'll feed you sometimes. Sometimes they forget.
Right.
They're so busy running their event. And a lot of time they don't pay you.
Yeah.
If they pay you, they pay you very little, like like $200 the most, $100. But now they do appreciate you. And the most I would just say it, the most I ever get paid to be an MC was like $5,500, I think, plus hotel and flight.
Wow, nice.
Yeah.
For a Hmong event?
For a Hmong event.
Oh, wow.
And I did a Thai event, and they paid me $4,500 just to fly me out, and I only did it for 2 hours.
Yeah.
But because they appreciate it more, they know that they know your value, they know that you're important now.
Yeah.
That's
good. I think you're like a really good I guess just visualization of like seeing how things have transitioned, you know, because you definitely experienced it back then when all this social media and like just entertainment industry was definitely not as understood and appreciated, like you said, compared to nowadays. You know, it's like you said, they definitely appreciate it a lot more, and it's actually like, you know, probably a standard now, you know. So, and I think it's really cool that you had to that you have the experience of going through that.
Yes. So I'm just gonna share this. A lot of the young MC or young artists out there and that are getting into the industry. I just want to share that like it's not all rainbow,
right?
You know, and it's not like, well, I'm gonna be an MC and get paid a lot of money, right? Even right now,
right?
Yeah, but you got to build your fan base. You got to build your image. You got to build a brand for yourself. So once you've built that and it's very strong, you have a good following. You have a lot of people who request for you or something where like they'll pay you what you're worth. Yeah, and all the artists, and I'm talking about artists, MC, anything in the entertainment world. Once go more value to they will take care of you. You know, they will make sure that you're worth it. I mean, not you're worth it, but they'll make sure to pay you what you're worth.
Right.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I was gonna say that I think it's funny because, at least just based off of what you've told me so far, I was gonna say I think it's gonna be hard to kind of go on with my questions because, like I said, just based off the answers you've given me, at least maybe you'll still have an answer for them, but
okay,
we'll go on.
Shoot it at me. Yeah.
Well, we can take a break real quick. I need to reset the cameras first. So, cool. Yeah. So we'll be right back. So we're back. Let me see. Let me see. So, I guess, my question I have here is, what was, your influence in doing what you're doing now? But that's why I said it's kind of hard because I guess you can say well, at least based off of what you told me, it doesn't sound like you really had any kind of influence, you know, it kind of just came onto you, right?
What do you mean by influence? Like influencers that I look up to?
Or just like did you have some kind of spark or something that made you get into what you're doing now, you know?
Okay, so let me see if I can explain that a little. So I did photography. I got married.
So your photography and video stuff.
Yeah,
right?
So I did photography and video. And I got married, and at the same time, I was still doing MC too. But when I got married, I was traveling a lot. A lot. I mean, this week I'll be in like Oregon, and I fly home on like a Monday or Tuesday, and then Thursday I fly out to Minnesota.
Okay.
And then I come back.
Yeah.
And then spend time with my family for 2 days, fly out to Hawaii. And then come back.
Damn.
And then fly out again.
It's all for business?
Yeah, as a photographer. You know, I was a wedding photographer.
Oh, you mean when you were doing it? Right,
yeah,
right.
So I'm always on the go.
Yeah.
And I think what really, really kind of like made me realize is I had my first child, my daughter, Hannah Rose, and I kind of miss out on it, on her growing up.
Right.
I do spend a lot of time with her, but a lot of the weekends that my wife is free, I don't get enough time with them too. Because on the weekends, I'm always on the go.
Right.
It don't matter if it's the winter time or the summer or the spring. Those are the busy time. And I'm always on the go. And my son came along, and my daughter was growing up really fast. And I told myself, I have to find something else. Let me stop on the photography part and video part, and not stop, but slow down on it, and not do any travel gigs. So I started doing local gigs, and I felt like I wanted to travel. I love traveling because during that time I was traveling. What if I do something that I can travel with my kids?
Okay.
So, and I guess during that time it was the bloom of social media. You know, it was really, really at its peak. You know, it was. I was just. I love food too, so I'm thinking maybe I should do food with social media, with my personality, and travel, and at least I get to travel with my family. So, and then Sunfat came. Sunfat says, "Hey, travel will pay for your stuff.
Wow.
Eat." And then all these business came and they say, "Hey, we like your content.
Yeah.
Would you willing to fly? We'll fly you here, your family here, and eat here, and spend some time here, and talk about our restaurant." Sure.
Wow.
And then and the local restaurants. I was signed with the local restaurant for 3 years, and 6 days a week. I have to eat at all 6 of the restaurants for 3 years.
Yeah.
And that was paying the bill. And I get to be home. I get to eat every day with my family. And I loved it. At the same time, the they were paying me good, so I was like, I think I can do this.
Yeah.
Here I am. I'm doing that. I'm just traveling, eating, and just enjoying and watching my kids grow. That's why I said I'm a full-time dad.
Right.
Because I get to work from home.
Right. And while experiencing everything with them. Yeah.
So.
Wow, that's cool.
I don't know if I answer your question, but I mean that was my. It turned out great. Like it's not. I don't think it's luck, but I think it's because I was able to adapt.
Right. To
things that if this doesn't work out, I can always kind of curve it a little bit. We're gonna and then take off again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I don't. Like, well, it's just because, like I said, it's hard because we kind of already went through it. So these other questions I have is,
that just means I'm talking too much.
No, it's because you're kind of answering them, but it's just because the experience you had, based off of the experience, these questions are kind of like crossed out. Yeah.
Okay.
Because this next one right here, I just said, what was your kind of like Kickstarter getting into the stuff you do now? But you went over it, and like I said, it wasn't necessarily like the goal. You know what I mean? So then, but I can go back on like your video and your photo stuff. Like,
okay.
So why, like, what got you into that?
So,
because you were doing that before the MCing, or the MCing came first?
I was doing that before MCing.
Okay.
So. Back in 2000, right after I came back from college.
Okay, yeah.
There was this is how I also, well, way before that.
Yeah.
My friends who knows me, my childhood friends, they know me. My mom bought me a camera, this big ginormous camera.
Really?
Back in, back in the...
For video or for
mid-90s, for video.
Okay.
Ginormous.
Yeah.
You carry on your shoulders. And my mom bought it for me, and it was like $3,000. It was a lot back then.
Damn, yeah.
And just so we can record our gang performance.
Wow.
So when we travel to Chokainan,
yeah.
On the weekends, when my friends come over, I'll be the director.
Okay.
And I film them. So I'll say, okay, this scenario, you become this person, and I was the director, and I also played in it too.
Yeah.
So that's how it all started, and how I became. I love photography and videography, and then right after that, coming back from college, there was an opportunity. There was a post out. I went to a Mongsoor Talan Bingo. Well, actors wanted. And I applied. I went to the audition for a Hmong movie. The movie was called Go Nu. I even have the poster at home too. And I auditioned for the Pe'ena, and I got the role. Yeah. And I became like I wanted to like do more movies, more videos, and stuff like that. And we finished the. We didn't finish the movie. It was like a 3-part movie. We finished like 2 parts of it, and after that part, my buddies say, hey, since you love acting, you love into the video, why don't we start our own production? It was called Collusion Pictures.
Okay.
During that time, we shot the HTR music video, all of their music videos.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that.
Yeah.
I remember the old ones at least.
Yeah. So I was the director, actor in there. I was
Yeah.
also the writer, the editor in there. And we shot a lot of Apple music video. Apple is a Hmong company, Apple Video Production.
Okay.
It's by Bolong Bu, and we shot a lot of his music videos. And we got hired by a lot of the Hmong New Years to film a lot of the pageants.
Oh, okay.
So it's like all that background, all that experience of filming, and then here comes the DSLR.
Yeah.
So my buddy's like, hey, you got to try out these new cameras. They're so cool. They take pictures and do videos.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So I bought one. And I was like, hey, I understand lighting, I understand composition, I understand depth of field, I understand all this. Maybe I should try photography. Took one of my friends out. Shout out to Yer Lee. She's like, hey, why don't you let's go do a photo? And I said, okay, let's go. And, so I took her out, did some photo of her, and a few people liked it. And so I did a few people, and then the rest was history. Like, oh, your photos are good. We love it. That was it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I did about 10, 15 years into photography and video.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Like I said, it's always cool to see like how it starts. Like I said, because I do remember like, back in with HTR, all the old stuff with your long hair and stuff like that. Yeah. And I just want to see if that was like your plan, or if you, because originally I thought it was like you wanted to just get into more acting stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then I see you do all these like MCing or just other stuff. So I was like, I don't know what this guy does.
Yeah. You know what? I didn't want to be. During that time, my goal, I didn't have a goal to be an actor. I didn't want to pursue into acting. I just do it because we couldn't find an actor,
right?
That will hold that will fit what the character that I wrote for. Pretty much, I wrote the character based on me. So, and it was hard finding an actor who was like talkative and who was not afraid of the camera, ready action cry. Like. So I was like, okay, let me just do it.
Yeah.
And
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Like I said, that's
but
really cool.
I'm more of a like the writer and the director backstage.
Okay.
And behind the scene.
Yeah, that's cool. Let me see how much time we have on this.
Yeah, you can ask me any question. I have a lot of background in all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're doing really good on time still, so.
Okay. So we can do. Yeah, you can ask me. Like you did photography. I did photography. We talked about my emceeing. We can go more detail into like as an influencer.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, and then we can go into more detail of how as an influencer, and then as an editor, and then as an ambassador, a marketing director for Sabadi Fest, and then we can end it with.
All right, I was gonna ask more about that. It slipped my mind, but
that's okay.
So like I said, all these questions are kind of
all over the place.
Yeah,
because I it's my fault. I killed it.
It's alright.
I shut it down.
No problem. But I guess skipping all the past stuff now, so then now you say you're a lot more busy with like doing all these events and stuff, right? So then what do you have like planned out for right now? Because you say you don't have time for shooting like your commercials or videos and stuff anymore,
I don't have a lot of time doing photography and videography anymore, because I took on a lot of not a lot, but I would say enough for me to handle.
Right.
So like as I mentioned earlier, I do Chick Chancy. I do I work with Spidey Fest and Yeah Music Fest and Sunpat. So what was the question again?
So it's just what's I guess pretty much just what do you do now mainly, that keeps you busy and stuff, because you don't have the time to do like the videography and stuff anymore, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
with all that, I'm super too busy to do photography and video.
Yeah. Do you do like so for South by D Fest, you're in the works and the plans of the next one coming up too, right?
We are.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the marketing director.
Oh,
So
really?
a lot of stuff that you see that comes out through social media and stuff, like it has to go through my department, it has to go
Right.
through my approval.
And then you take care of like the posting and like the
No, I
mark-
don't. We have
Oh,
a team that does that.
Oh,
We have a
okay,
team
okay.
that does all the social media managing and stuff like that too.
Oh,
So
that's cool.
they do all the like they'll answer all the questions as need to be
Yeah.
answered. They do all the posting. I pretty much just kind of help brainstorm, help manage and direct it in a way where like making sure we're on the right path.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
yeah, getting our marketing tools, marketing stuff out there.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
cool. As for the Yaya Fest, that's new this year, right? I think.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yaya Fest. It's been in the planning for the last, I would say, year and a half. It's owned and operated by Trey, operated by a bunch of his friends and family.
Mhm.
And it's all built by like a lot of people who love music.
Right.
And Trey Zhang, he's in Merced, and he's the creator and founder of Yaya Music Fest, and he brought me on as his festival director. So I'm in charge of pretty much a lot of stuff that's going on in the festival, and I'm also in charge of his marketing side.
Mhm.
So Yaya Music Fest, if you've never heard of it, it's a festival where we want to bridge a diversity of age, diversity of ethnic, could be culture, and it could be genre,
Mhm.
diversity of genre, and also like creating like a nostalgic feeling where like the music
Right.
like the oldies, and
Mhm.
bringing them back on stage.
Yeah.
And then meeting them halfway with the newer generation.
Uh-huh.
That's the idea. And we're not just targeting one demographic, where it's just, let's just say, just Asian or just Hmong, but we want to make sure that we can bring everybody to our festival.
Yeah.
And it could be like a country music and a rapper, a rock star. It could be somebody from Thailand, Laos, China, like stuff that all of us grew up in.
Yeah. Definitely. And it's coming up pretty soon, right?
Yes, it's coming up September 23rd.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
in
this
Merced,
month.
California.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay, that's cool. And then as for your Chick Chansey thing, is that like you said, it's they do like one video monthly or something like that, or?
Yeah, well, with Chick Chansey, I signed a whole year contract with them.
Mhm.
This is my second year.
Okay.
First year, we did the same thing. Every time they have a promotion, let's just
Okay.
say. So let's just say this promotion lasts 3 months.
Uh-huh.
So they just need like two commercial shoots.
Right.
But if they're having a commercial every other month, then I will be there every other month.
Oh,
or
okay.
every month, I'll be there every month.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then pretty much it's like you said, it's just your Chuck Chansey gigs that you do,
Mm-hmm.
and then the Sun Fat, and then the
Mhm.
Sub ID, and
Yeah.
But then
Uh-huh.
obviously you're working on those constantly, right?
Yeah, and at the same time, I'm still shooting my own content.
Yeah.
I'm still going out to eat. There's a lot of restaurant who invites me over and say, "Hey, Silver, we have a new restaurant. We just opened up. Can you?" Actually, we're shooting one this weekend.
Okay.
Can we get you out here? Can we get you and your team out here so you can do some test and taste? We'll pay for everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So that's cool. You mentioned your team. Is it like with you and then like a crew that helps you set up and like take the videos?
I don't
and
have a
stuff,
permanent team. I'm still looking for a permanent team. If you want
okay.
to hop on my team and be a help,
Uh-huh.
you're more than welcome. But I have a videographer, and that helps me. His name is Frank Chang.
Okay.
He goes places where we go, and he'll come and help me film and make sure we get good audio, good lighting, and he's also like an editor. So I do a little bit of the editing sometimes, and he does the final touch of the editing.
Okay.
And I also have a writer. If we need like a story to tell, I have a buddy. His name is Matt Hernandez, and he is our writer. And
Okay.
He helps write some of the stuff for me. Other than that, then I have my wife. She's more like the geographic person who kind of like scout around and see what's new, what's the upcoming stuff, or like what's a new business that we need to support.
Mhm.
A lot of these time I just do it for free,
Okay.
unless they need me there and they'll offer to pay. But a lot of time I just go in and I even pay for my own food too.
Right.
You know. And people think like, oh yeah, you must get paid. That's what you're making. You're saying these nice things about
Yeah.
this food. I would say 80% of the time I pay for the food, and I just go and just kind of like, really, I just want to support my local mom and pop, my
Right.
local businesses.
Definitely.
And just get them out there, because these local business, if we can support them, let's just imagine this, we can support them and help them build our community better, help them build more jobs for us, and grow the community together. If we can help them, we can go and support them. I think we can do really well as a community, and that's how I see it.
Yeah.
Like for example, you're building so many jobs for everybody.
Yeah.
So I see it that way.
And it really helps out the community,
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. That's why community.
Yeah.
Even if you have what does it, I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool. What made you kind of start building your team for yourself? Just maybe, was it there a time when it was just too many videos for you to like kind of shoot, or?
Yes. I'm in that time right now.
Right.
Where there's a lot of videos that is backed.
Right.
And we're still editing. We're still pushing it out.
Yeah.
So like that's why I said I still need a team. It's because I do it for free most of the time.
Right.
We don't have enough money. We don't have enough budget to pay for everybody to work.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of people who wants to sponsor, and we've been getting sponsors. So we don't make a lot of money, but it's just to help us travel.
Yeah.
Help us. Let's just say there's a restaurant or there's a company out in Sacramento, and say, hey, Silver, can we get you up here? Can we pay for at least for your travel and
Like
your
they'll
lodging?
cover something.
Yeah. And at least they cover that, then we'll just go and help them, support them.
Yeah. That's
So
cool.
that's why we need a team
Yeah.
to help us. That's why I need a team to help us like get that going.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
hard doing by yourself though.
No,
It's
it
very
definitely
hard.
is. Yeah.
But I have built a lot of good close friends who has trust me to work with me and help me get all my content out.
Yeah. That's cool. I eventually do want to get like to a point where I would have my own team as well, because there are like I do have like like you said, personal content that you want to put out there. So yeah, but that'll be on hold.
Yeah, well, it starts from you first.
Yeah.
And it always starts from you, and once you can do it on your own, then you kind of have a vision of how you want it.
Yeah.
And then so if anybody should see like, hey Chris, you're doing this, can I tag along? Of course, let them tag along.
Yeah.
Always welcome them to tag along, unless they're like just negative people,
Oh, yeah.
But that you might, if anybody wants to learn and they ask, hey Silver, I want to tag along so I can learn something from you.
Yeah.
Don't ever be greedy with your knowledge, and because if I can share my knowledge with like 5 people, and they can share with another 5, and the other 5 can share with the other 5, there's so many people we can share our knowledge, and everybody can grow together.
Yeah.
And the more we grow together, the better it is.
Yeah. Definitely. I agree with that. I actually I believe it was Wednesday night. There was this event. It was held by these local like videographers and photographers and other like local influencers, right? They held a meetup for like just those kind of content creators or videographers and photographers, and And I went out there, and it was really nice to see that there's like people in your niche too, that you can kind of rely on or like go to and ask for help and stuff.
Yeah. And you need to get involved. You need to talk to people. Like it's just say if you want to get into the photography world, be more involved with your photography friends, and that you can learn from each other. There are in way there are a lot of them that will like, hey, okay, this is how it works, know. And there's a lot of them out there that will willing to help.
And I'm glad too, like I said, it was just because obviously when you first start doing more of this kind of stuff in this industry, you definitely feel like, like I'm doing all this by myself, or like you're going through all your own, you know what I mean? Which I'm pretty sure you felt when you first started like getting into it too, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And it's like I said, just seeing the people around you, being around the same kind of people, it's it really feels relieving.
Right, it does. I agree.
I have a question for you where here it says, so what are, you kind of touched on this earlier, but what are some of the hardest challenges you faced going through with this career path?
Okay.
Whether that was like now, I guess you can touch on a little bit of both, whereas like when you first started this and then like in present time, like what are some of the other challenges that you go through?
There are always challenges. I can't say the hardest, but I'll mention a lot of the challenges that I encounter and overcome. Starting at a young age, especially if you never went to school for any of this,
right?
So you're just self-taught, and the challenges is you don't have the correct knowledge. And it's all experience, and that is education for you. That is knowledge for you. You know, you gotta learn it yourself. Make 1,000, 1,000,000 mistakes. Those are the challenges, and my challenges was that too, and it's also at the same time not having support.
Right.
So
definitely.
My biggest supporter are like my really, really close friends and family. And everybody else was just very competitive. Like, oh man, he's on the rise. Let's just There was a lot of people who I look up to and I reach out to and didn't want to help. Like and that's totally okay. You know, but I think the challenge, some of the challenges is right? And which as I just mentioned, and you don't have the funding,
right?
And all the time at the same time you don't have time managing experience, or like you can't know how to manage your own time,
right?
And until along the way, like
because like you said, everything it's just an experience. And you got to learn from the experience.
It's all experience. I'm trying to think of some of the challenge. So get go, time manage. I would say another one would be trying to. This falls into time management too. Trying to give your time for everybody, and that was some of my biggest mistakes. Growing up, not growing up too, but growing in this industry was I was trying to please too much people. I was trying to be there for everyone.
Right.
And let's just say, look on how ni kun hu no, this is look other event on ni kun hu no there, and I'm trying to be 2 places at one time.
Right. And and trying to juggle everything.
Yeah. So when you do that, you go kind of half-ass, or more there. Có một thấy tu chỉ tao chỉ có một thấy tu sư chỉ có tí nhiều share tụi nó chỉ chẳng tu share có. But really at the end of the day, they don't really care about you.
Right.
They want you there so they can say, hey, he's here.
Yeah.
Look who I got here. but at the same time, you're beating yourself up.
Yeah.
Because you weren't able to do that, and at the same time, your family needs you.
True.
And at the same time, you need to go make money to feed your family.
Yeah.
For yourself.
Yeah, you
to
still
better
have
roof
yourself
on
that
you.
you need
Yeah.
to worry about, you know.
But at the same time, you're trying to please all these other people, and it took me a while to realize, like, priority, time management, or what's more important.
Mm-hmm.
And that was some of my challenges, because I was trying to just get myself out there, please everyone, make everyone happy, but I weren't happy. I was happy, but I wasn't too happy because my family weren't happy.
Right.
They didn't get my attention.
Yeah.
And that was something that I had to learn along the way. I've gotten so much better. Like, for me, if it's not that important, I'd rather take my son to the zoo, or my kids to the zoo.
Yeah.
That's why you always see me traveling, because I don't care. I'd rather travel. I want to spend some time with my kids.
Yeah, and it's with
and
your
at the
family,
same time,
Yeah.
I want to make sure I work
Yeah.
while I'm traveling.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I hope that answered your question.
I'd rather kill 2 birds with 1 stone than.
Yeah.
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 No, it really did. And I had it again, and then I lost it as I was listening to you. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, with that, were there any? Actually, let me stop this right now. So I was gonna ask, because you just talked about, like, some of the challenges that you faced, right?
Mm-hmm.
Were there any times or moment within going through this that you wanted to stop, kind of maybe just go back to school, or just take on a regular career, I guess?
Yes. So, doing what I did, what I was doing as a photographer when I left photography, and I want to just be a content creator and just travel the world, and eat. Sounds so magical and rainbow with
Right.
It looks
Yeah.
like it's so easy to do.
Yeah.
I was struggling
Yeah.
financially. So I was struggling because I put away my my true income were coming from photography. I was
Mhm.
making a lot of money during
Right.
that time, but I decided I'm going to put it away so I can spend more time with my family,
Mm-hmm.
and let me just go and be a content creator. I thought it was
Right.
easy.
Sorry to interrupt, but you had your family young then, huh? Like maybe.
No.
Oh no.
No,
Really?
I got married when I was in my mid-30s.
Oh, okay.
Not too long ago.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So.
But you must have been just going extra hard, right?
Yeah.
In your photography and videos. Okay.
Yeah, really, really hard.
Mhm.
I mean, like I was telling you, like one weekend I'll be in Minnesota, one weekend I'll be in Hawaii,
Yeah.
come home, and then get ready for this weekend in Oregon
Mhm.
or somewhere else.
Yeah.
So I love to travel. I love to go, but I was missing out at home.
Uh-huh.
My kids were growing up too fast.
Yeah.
And it hurted me, like just watching my daughter learning how to talk, and I'm not
Right.
around enough
Yeah.
to communicate with her, and that kind of like made me slow down and say, hey, you know what? As much as I love photography, I love my family more,
Mhm.
and I can always go back when they're older,
Mhm.
you know. But my struggle, the transition to become an influencer or content creator, that was tough.
Yeah.
That was so hard.
Like going back to it, kind of? Or?
No, to be like full time.
Oh, full time, and like without the videos and.
Yeah,
photog-
without like my where my money is coming from.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
to pay my bills.
Yeah.
And photography and videography was doing well.
Yeah.
You know, I was paying. You know, I was making good money.
Yeah.
But, I had to slow down and just say, hey, let me try content creating as an influencer full time.
Mhm.
In my first year, I struggled.
Yeah. I bet.
There was no money coming anywhere.
Yeah, I was gonna say it must have been a lot of loss, right?
Yeah, I didn't make any money through social media. YouTube's not doing well for me.
Yeah.
My content is not people is not watching them. I was like, oh my gosh, how are they doing this? But one thing about me is I hate the feeling of giving up.
Right.
I hate quitting.
Yeah.
So I just tell myself, just keep doing it. Just keep going. I don't care if it's not funny to them. It's funny to me.
Yeah.
And I love it. I'm sure that I'm going to create a fan base enough where they can follow me. I can get enough followers from there. So,
I'll find the people that find me funny eventually.
Eventually I'll find people who loves following me just for my food. Just for my funny content. Or my mong-dubs and then it took like a good 2 years. I had to take out not a loan. I had to apply for a credit card to help me pay for things.
Okay.
That's how
so it must have been recently then, right?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I would say about a good 5 years ago.
Wow. Yeah.
During that time.
Yeah. And then
just
COVID happened.
The last 3 years, everything took off.
Yeah.
But I mean, before that, man, it was a struggle, man.
Yeah.
And then I still have a lot of creators, content creators, and influencers out there who still reach out to me and say, "Hey, Silver, how come my stuff is not working?"
Right.
And this is what I tell them: if you give up now, you'll never see it.
Yeah.
You will never see how well you're going to do in the next like 2-3 years, because it took me a while.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm successful as a content creator, but it pays for my bills. And it takes me to where I want to be right now. Like, it's just like Gucci find other jobs. I can just be a content creator full time, and I'm happy. It pays for everything.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's like, I guess some people would say, it's the dream. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Being able to do.
But it's not all rainbow.
Right, exactly. Not all rainbow.
Just so those who are watching us today, like
so then that's really recent though. 5 years ago maybe or so, and then like I said, especially during COVID too. Would you say maybe COVID actually helped a little bit, or is it like
for the food industry, it wasn't as
true. Right. Going out there to try the food and stuff.
A lot of the restaurants was closed.
That's true.
But it was good for creator if you can find content.
Right.
People were at home watching more videos.
100%.
During that time, it was great for creators.
Yeah.
So
that's why it took off so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I would say COVID does help during that time. You bottle creator, get them name out there too.
Yeah.
I think Sarah came around that time for TikTok, and during that time, TikTok algorithm was a lot easier to follow and to grow.
Right.
So she was able to grow so rapidly during that time. And I didn't really care about TikTok until last year.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm a little late.
I'm
happy where I'm at.
Okay. And let me see. What was it? Were you just trying to? So when you got out of when you wanted to get out of your photography and videography stuff, like were there other jobs that you were like thinking about, or did you just solely really want to just find something that you wanted to do, like the food and traveling stuff, and then you decided with that, or like I said, were there other just more boring jobs?
No, I didn't want to go back into
a normal 9 to 5.
Yeah,
right,
I didn't want to go back. I knew that if I'm leaving photography, I do not want to go back and work for somewhere where you have to go like your normal 9 to 5. Nothing against that, of course.
Right.
But that was not for me. I left working for a job where I have to clock in and clock out back in 2010. And I do not want to go back, and I told myself I do love creating content, so maybe I should be a content creator and see how it goes. And some people say you got lucky, but I don't believe in luck. If you work hard, it'll come to you.
It's like that they say, preparation. With preparation, you meet success or something like that. Right. Yeah. It's not luck. Yeah.
Yeah. You do shit, yeah. So like what be said, you already manifest, you you really want that car, and that car costs you, let's just say, but but then you will get it.
Yeah.
You will get it. It's not luck.
Mm-hmm.
Unless like
Yeah.
Powerball.
Yeah.
That is luck.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that is true luck.
Yeah.
Or like casino,
Yeah.
Yes, that is luck.
That's all your luck
But
for the rest.
if you work hard, you will get what you want. I mean, you'll reach your goal.
Definitely.
You work hard, you work smart. There's a thing about Kobe Bryant always talk about is if you can outwork somebody like 5 to 6 times their work ethic. It will take them years to catch up to you.
Mm-hmm.
I see that in me too. When I started photography, a lot of photographers coming in, a lot of photographers didn't want to teach me. So I just told myself, while they're sleeping, I'm working.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get up early and I still work again. And while they're sleeping again, I'm working. And when they're slacking off, they're doing other stuff, I'm going to go and learn all these skills.
Yeah.
I'm going to be the best at it. Not competing against them. I want to challenge myself daily. I want to know something new every day.
Yeah. And at that point, like you said, it's not even about them anymore. No, it's all you.
Yeah, it's all me.
All for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me check my live and see if it's working. Can you guys hear us at all? Hello from France. Oh, okay, cool. I think they can hear us a little bit.
Yeah, they might have said something if.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Hello from France. Wow. That's bonjour, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris know how to speak French.
Just a little bit.
Did you take any?
Yeah, I took French in high school.
Really?
Yeah. And
I took Spanish in high school, 2 years.
Yeah.
I have the worst memory in like pronouncing things or remembering like him. I have really bad memory, like wording.
Yeah. Yeah. That's funny.
I'm more visual.
Oh yeah.
So if I see things, I remember things.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it's hard.
It's just because you can't picture it in your head.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's why like the stuff it's all like visual.
Yeah.
I'm not much of a.
Yeah. It's cool too because my French teacher, she was Hmong, so she was Hmong Faki. Yeah.
What's her name?
Madame Her. Her name is Gao. Gao Her.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Wait. Professor Gao? Gao?
No.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
I know who you're talking about. Yeah, I know who you're talking
Godia.
about. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's not her though.
She was my professor too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. But yeah, okay. So we'll finish it up right here. Just one last thing I wanted to ask you was, what would be some advice that you would give to new, I guess just the people that want to start getting into influencing, maybe make a name for themselves, starting to put themselves out there or creating some kind of following,
So, I mean, we talked a lot. I share a lot of like encouragement, and I'll add more to it too. For the influencer, if you want to be an influencer, I would say work hard. Always keep learning. Because in the influencer, in the content creator world, there's always something new. There's always the new trending sound. There's always a new hook, a new way to edit this, a new way to grab attention, because it's all about that. Into the algorithm world, where like even TikTok is all about algorithm. Facebook, Instagram, they're all about algorithm.
Yeah.
YouTube. So once you have, I want to say, don't be lazy and learn daily. Like you shoot content and find new ways to get your audience to engage in your whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
So don't just shoot like shoot one and then put it away. I'll post this tomorrow. Don't be lazy. If
Yeah.
you really want to, really want to do that, focus on that and get that content out and get the next one in line and get the next one in line and you have them all in line already.
Mm-hmm.
And while you're shooting like this one, you already have 3 of them ready to post. And you want to make sure that you're and all your there's so much I can talk all day long about like this, but what I'm trying to say is to answer your question is everybody who wants to be like a content creator or influencer,
Mm-hmm.
don't be lazy and be humble and實實地要變咗啦，要學變咗變之類，點解要學變保要？Just because a few thousand people knows you, you have 10,000 followers. Yeah, I'm just a superstar. You're not. You know, humble yourself up and just keep helping other people. And when it's time to, even if they ask for you to do it for free, do it for free. You know, go to communities, go support your community, go see what and as an influencer is not just about what you're creating on social media, but it's also what you make how you make people feel when you go out there to help your community. When you sit down and speak to someone, when you leave from that conversation, you want to make sure that you leave with a good positive attitude onto that person and said, wow, I sit down next to Chris and he was not the smartest, you don't think of that, but
Yeah.
he was such a humble person, or like you more called yeah. And it's
And
really
it'll stick
important
with
how,
them, you know?
how it makes you how it makes them feel.
Right.
Talk shares anything. I mean anything you do.
Hard work.
Either chef or anything. Be the best at it and to talk share. Yeah, hard work.
Yeah.
I hope that answered your question.
No, definitely.
I'm just going in circles.
Yeah, I mean, there's and that's really good and like straight to the point, because there's no beating around the bush. Like, it's like you said, it's not all dreams and all rainbow. It's like there's definitely no like beating around the bush, and it's not easy. Yeah.
It's not easy at all. Let's just say the professional athletes, they can't be. This person was not Kobe Bryant if he didn't work hard, right? Or this person is not LeBron James or Michael Jordan if they didn't work hard their whole life, you know? So it's not luck. It's really because they work really, really hard and they want to be the best at it, And they're not competing against anybody else but themselves.
Right.
Yeah, so if you can, even if you want to be a content creator or a photographer, be the best at it and don't be lazy and just get up and go and do it. Some days you do not want to get up and you're like, oh, I'm too lazy.
Yeah.
Don't, just say, hey, you know what? Sorry if I speak a lot of Hmong.
No, it's cool. I mean, like, I understand everything, and I could speak it too, but yeah. It's just, I
try to have Hmong I do get a lot of content. I mean, a lot of my content where I don't speak Hmong at all.
Yeah.
And then people write to me like, so I try to add a little bit Hmong into your show, but
that's really good. It's harder for me because like I do speak it every day. I speak it to my customers and stuff like that.
Awesome. See, exactly. And a lot of your customers are Hmong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I said, as for content, it is hard to get it out there more, but it's definitely nice when you're able to put it into.
Correct.
Yeah. But I guess that's all I have for you for today. If you wanted to add anything else or mention, I wanna kind of show off my shirt a little bit for my audience from on this on my live cast. Right. Yeah, he's live right now, by the way.
Yeah Music Fest is coming September 23rd, and I want to invite nhiệt sĩ bây giờ là chỉ cứ tìm không sẽ là nhớ đâu bây giờ Central Valley là lúc lồng tiền này nhớ đâu chạy Visalia all the way to Sacramento nhớ đâu Merced bây giờ mới lúc Music Festival là sáu rồi bây giờ tuần sau là thế cho nên tất cả chú cho và ít sự hùng cao là tuần đến tế tất cả tôi hùng cao đồ này vậy nên sponsor là một rồi yeah Music Fest có Facebook page and go learn more about it bây giờ tôi còn này bây giờ cũng qua hu còn này sẽ tôi sáu bây thế cho nó nhau bây giờ ở trong mong sư bây giờ số lần số tụ thì chỉ hợp này cho mình tụi mình nhỏ mong và giờ cho chị tàu lu công trình nó của cho nên sẽ tôi còn cho bây sẽ sai li mình tin là của bây lu cho hình tụi nó sẽ là okay so we'll see you there September 23rd. Big shout out to Yaya Music Fest and come and support us. We have such an amazing lineup this year too, so go get your ticket and we'll see you guys soon. And thank you, Chris, for having me to sit down with you on your podcast, and also thank you to the sisters. What are they called?
Right, Studio Diaries, you know.
Studio Diaries.
Yeah, thank you guys again for letting us use the space and the time here. You know, like I said, it's a really good spot, and you know, you guys do a really good a really good job at keeping this place really nice and good looking. You know,
nice and presentable. I love it. And when I walked in, I was like, oh, nice, good lighting.
Yeah,
you know, makes me look good. You know.
yeah. But yeah, so like I said, that's all I have for you today. You know what I mean? So again, thank you. I appreciate you coming on to my show today. And without anything else, I guess, without further ado, you know, it's me, your boy Chris, your boy Vim. This has been the VimShow. And you guys were watching Behind the Vim podcast, and catch you guys next time.